Hi, it's Tabitha from We Need a Law, and today I want to talk to you about the Turnaway Study. It was published earlier this year, and it talks about 1,000 women's experience with abortion. You see, it's based on a study where they went to abortion clinics in the United States that had a second trimester gestational limit, and they found women who were denied abortions because they were too far along in their pregnancy. And then on the same day, they would find a woman who had an abortion just under that gestational limit. The idea being, we have thousands of women, some who were denied abortions and some who received abortions, and we can compare the outcomes of the two groups. It's a really fascinating book. It's full of lots of interesting information about these women's experiences, and they don't lend themselves to quick and easy summaries. So I want to take some time to delve into what these women actually experienced and what they said about it, and also how that interacts with the pro-life message. So this is going to be part one of about a 6-part series about the Turnaway Study. Now in this first part, what I want to talk about is Dr. Foster's assumptions that underline her book. You see, she begins and she ends with this assumption that the idea of choice is inherently good for women. We're going to delve a lot more into that in part 2, but I want to talk a little bit more about her second assumption. And that second assumption has to do with the humanity of the preborn child. You see, Dr. Foster does not even entertain the idea that the preborn child might actually and objectively be a human being. When she does interact with that preborn child, she always characterizes it as a belief that a woman might believe her child is a human being, or that others might think that the child is a human being. But she never deals with the fact that we know from what we can tell from science that a unique, distinct human being comes into existence at fertilization. And yet this humanity that she's ignoring comes up repeatedly despite her best attempts. At one point, she tells the story of Ariella. Ariella had an abortion when she was 19. She actually aborted her twins. Now, Ariella went on to describe the fact that she had a good job, that she was getting through school. She had aspirations to go to law school. So she says she's doing fine. But for those in the pro-life movement, we see those preborn children. We see the 2 lives that were lost. And any success that Ariella boasts can ring hollow to our ears. Whereas we do resonate with another story that Dr. Foster tells, that of Jenny. Jenny, who broke down crying when she thought that her then 6-year-old child might have been aborted. You see, abortion doesn't just impact women. There's always a second life that is impacted, that of the preborn child. And there are those out there who think abortion only impacts women, and there are those out there who think that abortion is about a conflict of rights between women and their preborn child. But the pro-life position is the radical position that we can be both pro-woman and pro-child, that we can find solutions that help both lives rather than just one at the expense of the other. Now we're going to go a lot more into women next time and a lot more into the different elements of the book as we go along. So I hope that you'll join us through this series, through the Turnaway Study.